staff, any donors, any consumers that might be coming in for any of the other services, feel a little bit more comfortable. We do understand that crime in the area, which has been reduced with the use of our snug program, but there is existing crime in the area, and we want people, when they come to donate, receive services, anything, to feel safe and feel a sense of security. And we thought that it was important for everyone that utilizes community missions to feel that. So, and it's been very successful. We've had minimal incidents. I don't really think we've had any major things going on, and it's been great so far.
Absolutely. Yes, it has. I think it's just everyone can breathe a little bit easier, right? And that goes for staff, residents, visitors, et cetera, and it's a great thing. So again, this is Community Link with Community Missions. My name is Christian Hoffman. I'm the host here. This is Community Missions' opportunity to talk a little bit about what it is that we do and how the community out there might be able to help us to do just that. I'm joined today by Brian Marrale, our Operations Administrator here for Community Missions, and Eric Boerdner is our Vice President of Specialized Services. So what would you say? So we've been here all roughly the same amount of time. You guys beat me up by a couple of years or so. What is the biggest differences that you would think that we've seen over the past 15 years or so that you've been involved?
I think growth of the agency.
Sure.
When I had first started in 2008, while we had quite a substantial amount of programs, it has grown, I would want to say, almost double in that, in the 16 years I've been here. One of the things our agency is really good at is identifying needs and doing what we can to assist in those needs. And I think the growth of our program, or our agency, in adding new programs has been a huge benefit to the community. With that, we run out of space in the main agency, which breeds other problems where, individuals like Brian have to figure it out,
right?
Probably one of the biggest differences, I think, not only the growth in programs and stuff, but our staff. I feel like we've grown in numbers. We have strong retention, I believe. We've all been here a long time. A lot of the people that work with us and for us, they've been here a long time, and I think that shows kind of the beauty in working in this field, is because you get that day-to-day reward of working with the clientele and helping them and helping the community. And I think that's the main goal of the agency, and it's nice to work for an agency that cares not only about their employees but everyone that you work with. So.
Absolutely. I'll talk a bit about the staff retention. I have an occasion to go through and figure out tenure, how long the average employee has been employed with us. And last year it was almost 7 years, 6 years and 300 and some days and such. And this year we're even 4 or 5 months beyond that, so we're almost 7.5 years, the average employee. For 160 employees, that's saying something, honestly, for a nonprofit that certainly everyone out there can understand does not pay the most, does not pay the best by any stretch. We are a flexible agency and can do a lot of different things, and with all the different programs that fall under you and that we have with mental health as well, just no matter what it is that kind of your heart pulls at, we got something that can really resonate for people and such. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as you're dealing with constantly, we're all dealing with more staff comes more needs, right? So that parking lot and then offices and on like that. And there's another need in particular that we wanted to talk about today, and that is of the possibility of a distribution building around food and such. So Eric, why don't you walk us through that idea?
Yeah, a couple years ago, it was something that an idea that was an idea, and it was a want for, that I wanted for the agency, a separate building that can house some of, our food. It can house our food pantry. It can house, our furniture giveaway, and give us additional storage. And we just talked about growth. Not only have programs grown, but individuals we're serving, that number has grown exponentially. Sure. So from the want, it has now grown into a need for us, that we need to find better space to help the individuals we serve, specifically with our food pantry. We are blessed with a lot of donations from area businesses, and where we have our current location, it's just not equipped to handle that amount of stuff. add that to we serve 150 or more families per week. That's a lot of individuals that we serve, and the way we're running our pantry, it's really not conducive to that amount. Right. And taking it a step further, to me, it's a dignity thing. Like Brian talked about earlier, we want the people that access us to feel comfortable, to feel like that they're cared for. And I want to make sure that experience is also there with the food pantry. So that project would build a new distribution center that would house our food pantry, some storage and our furniture, but it would change the dynamic of our food pantry now in a sense where individuals would be able to self-select everything they need. Like I said, it adds to the dignity of using a food pantry. People don't use food pantries because they want to. They do it out of a necessity. And the stigma of using a food pantry all in itself makes individuals weary about using it and uncomfortable. I want individuals to not feel that way. And when you add self-selection into it, that gives it an experience as if they're going to shop for themselves. It also helps with individuals eating healthy. When they come to our food pantry now, we're giving them a box of vegetables, a bag of dry goods, a bag of canned goods, some meat if we have it, and then some extra odds and ends. But we don't have the ability to ask every individual, what does your family eat, what don't they eat. Obviously, we try to help with health restrictions now and religious restrictions now, but it's just not feasible all the time with the amount of people we serve. So this now allows individuals to be able to shop for what they will use in their household. So food's not being wasted. Individuals, it just helps them eat healthy. They can eat, select stuff for their diet exclusively. And then obviously it helps us with space. We're busting at the seams. If you ever drive by 1570 Buffalo Avenue and you look around, there's pallets everywhere, and things are being stored in all different locations in our building because we just don't have the ability in our pantry. So this allows us to be able to do that. It allows us, when we have volunteers, to have more room and more space to spread things out, where volunteers won't be out in the cold sorting through food. We'll be able to do it inside. But it really comes back to, the individuals we serve, and, I want them to feel, as comfortable as possible utilizing our pantry.
So what's the nuts and bolts look like, Brian? Where's it going to be? How big are we talking? What all is it going to contain?
So we currently own a lot next to 1590 Buffalo Ave. So our main building is located at 1570, but it's technically one building. And we own a lot at 1600 Buffalo Ave that we have identified as an area that would fit the 5,500 square foot facility that we hope to build. That would be a prime location for it, I think, with parking, the ability to provide individuals who are waiting to utilize our pantry an overhang so they can be out of any of the elements that Western New York often provides. So I think the location that we have is perfect. It's just more of, getting down to being able to break ground. So.
Right. Yep. So we have community people out there that are watching. How can they get involved with what we're doing already, or maybe this project as well?
I think, specifically this project, right now we're in the funding portion of this project, identifying, money. It's a project that isn't, it's going to cost us money to do, and it's money well spent for the agency, for the community. So right now we're in the process of trying to identify funding for it. At any point in time we'll take donations for that. So if anybody wants to do that and have their money go directly to that, that's welcomed. That's a big spot where we're at right now. As a not-for-profit, money's just not there all the time. So we rely heavily on funders and individuals who donate. to do projects like this.
So, for the community members that have been out there that may have even remembered the old Hiawatha Inn and the Ivanhoe Inn and such, and that's where we're located. And at that property, I mean, we have not been able to expand out. Back in the 80s when we bought the Ivanhoe, we expanded to be able to connect the little hallway in between. But beyond that, we have not been able to expand out in that space. So this will be the first time that we really look to do that. You did mention, but the idea, I believe, is the clothes closet would then come in where the food pantry is, right?
Right, yeah, that would give us, so our food pantry is located on our 1590 side. And then our clothing closet is on the opposite side of the campus on our 1570 opposite side. So that would allow us to move the clothing closet into where our pantry is, because that location would be able to hold the clothing closet.
Right.
So that would bring every service as far as food pantry, clothing closet, our furniture into one location. I kind of coin it as like a little strip mall in a way,
Right.
where individuals aren't going all over the campus. Now our furniture giveaway is located, down the street and around the corner on Portage Avenue, Portage Road, and it's all scattered all over the place. This gives us a chance to put it all in one location. That way, individuals who need to access it can access it all at one point in time.
Yep. So we're very excited about the possibility of the project and hopefully be able to break ground before too long. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, this time of year in particular, when you look at our campus, and I was showing someone around yesterday, and literally there are pallets out in the cold and the snow, and they're burning a fire in the pavilion to be able to keep warm while they're sorting through the boxes of oranges and whatever else that it might be. So it really shows the need that's there currently. So thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the project, and we look forward to bringing progress updates to you as that kind of goes along. If you have a donation for us, that is wonderful. Please earmark it on your check or however you want to do so, maybe an online donation as well for the pantry project. That would be wonderful. But if you have a connection, maybe a business that you would want us to connect with that may be able to provide some funding or maybe some other connection, we would certainly appreciate that as well. You can always dial the number at the bottom of the screen there, 285-3403, and my extension is 2247. Eric, if you want to give yours as well.
My extension is 2258.
All right, wonderful. So you can talk to either of us about that possible donation and such, and we look forward to again updating you as progress kind of goes along on the project. So once again, as I talked about at the beginning of the show, a couple of things that are coming up. We're always in need of donations, especially this time of year, for winter clothes. That's winter coats, hat, boots, gloves, all of those wonderful things. If you can spare any for us, we would sure appreciate it on behalf of those that we serve. And then our Evening of Compassion, which has always been known as our Sweetheart Dinner, that is going to be held on March 21st this year at the Niagara Falls Convention Center. We hope that you'll consider attending. Tickets are on sale now, as well as sponsorship opportunities. Or we have some lovely baskets, I'm sure, some basket wrappers, donators and such out there. We certainly need those also, or gift cards from local businesses. Perhaps you got something at Christmas time that either doesn't fit, isn't the right style for you, or maybe a gift card that you'll just never use. We would sure appreciate that for our Evening of Compassion that's coming up on March 21st. So until next time, we thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to speaking with you next month on Community Link.